Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Let's go straight to the phone lines where we've got Brenda in Dallas, Texas. What's going on, Brenda?
Hi. Yes, my dad, he's in his 80s, and I have determined that he's been scammed out of thousands of dollars by a fake publishing company.
Shoot.
And so I recently persuaded him that it's a scam, but I still feel like he's very vulnerable because they'll just keep calling with a new scam and all of those things. Well, a year ago, he got a call out of the blue to republish one of his books, and so they asked for money up front. And since then, they've even withdrawn without permission from his account once they got his account number.
Oh, wow. So how much money are we talking?
Right now, it's almost $20,000.
Oh, wow.
Brenda, do you guys have contact information for these people? I mean, they're stealing money. This is illegal. Have you contacted the police?
No, I haven't really known what road to go down legally. What I have been doing is, we canceled his cards and got new cards. Good. And we put in fraud information with the bank. Mm-hmm. And he recently agreed to add me to his bank account. He wants to leave a legacy for his family, and he's written these books, and they're wonderful books, Christian teaching books, and it's just hard for him. He's not a child that I can tell what to do. He's a grown adult, and I don't want to take away that, but he's very vulnerable. He's easy to persuade, and they just keep calling with different tactics.
Wow.
So I guess my question really is, because he's written another book, and he didn't tell them, fortunately, but it's ready to go and be published again. And he's basically told me, can you find me a safe place where I can publish this book? And in some respects, I want to just shut the door and say, don't do that anymore. But writing is his outlet.
Well, sure. And when you say publishing, you're saying publishing, Brenda, do you mean just printing copies of the book?
Printing copies of the book and making it available on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, that would probably check all the boxes for him.
Okay.
Right there.
Yeah. And all of that's not crazy inexpensive. I mean, it's not crazy expensive.
Yeah.
You could do that. I mean, it'll take some work on your end, Brenda, to help find a printer and all of that. But if that's his wishes, he doesn't need to be going through a third party unless you think oh my gosh, it's like C.S. Lewis's stuff or whatever that
sure.
he actually could get signed to a legit publisher and do this. I don't think that's really what he wants to do necessarily.
Well, and I don't think I would trust it at this point.
Yeah, no. I know. So yeah, I think you guys need to print some copies and have a few boxes to give to the grandkids. I think you can probably put it on Amazon. Mm-hmm. We do that kind of stuff here at Ramsey.
Well, yeah, and the main thing that he's asked me is, can you find me somebody that can be kind of like my agent? And in respect to that, I feel like if he had somebody that he knew was a legitimate, trustworthy publisher, then he would be less likely to fall into the trap of those that are untrustworthy and pursuing him constantly. Thought about getting him to change his phone number and everything, but
what if he got around? It kind of sounds like he's trying to do a lot of this in a vacuum. What if he got around some clubs and started getting to know a group of writers to where everybody's kind of looking at each other's stuff and everybody's kind of sharing contact information, and it's a little bit more of a trusted environment where it's like, have you used this guy? Yeah, I've used this guy. How did you get your book on Amazon? This is how I did it. And it kind of did a community approach as opposed to I'm just going down the yellow pages and I'm going to pick a publisher and I'm going to that does feel very, you don't know what you're going to get.
And he's 80 years old, Brenda. I mean, what do you what do you think his motivation, what do you think this is in him? Has he always wanted to do this? It's not to crush his dreams. There's also a reality that you're 80 and
right.
You know what I mean? This may not be your big break.
Right. I mean, I don't understand if there's a unhealthy part of him trying to be somebody. Is there anything like that? Or is it just genuinely he loves what he's writing about and he wants it available for people to read, right? Like, I'm like, I wonder what his motivation is in all of it.
Well, and his first book that he wrote is a kind of a teaching book on Christian foundations. And the driving point behind creating the book was to use it in a church setting. And he did use that for years. And at some point, he wanted to take that material and put it together in a book form. And I think his desire now comes from all that happened with that years ago. And so now he's written another book that's similar to that, and yet another one. And he lost his wife, my mom, in January, and he just really needs something.
Yeah, a great
to
outlet.
grab onto.
Yeah, so
I give him focus.
Yeah, so what I would do, Brenda, if I were you, is I would sit down with him and say, "Hey, Dad, listen. Here's what's happened. You have been scammed out of almost $20,000. We can't keep doing this. It's not wise, Dad. So any big money decision that's happening, anytime you want to spend money, will you just run it by me? I just want to talk through it, make sure that I can maybe like run course for some of this." To be able to help you, because I want you to if you have this dream and have this content that you want published and out into the world, like we can get that done. Like we can do that. We also need realistic expectations of what things are in life, and we don't want your legacy to go down the drain financially by making bad mistakes. And so I want to honor you in that and help you in that as your daughter. But also, let's be wise in any big financial decision, Dad. Like, let team up with me and let's talk it through together.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.